First up, what are you expecting the RBI to do midweek? I mean, how is the latest ISM figure, the hot ISM figure in the U.S., shaping the thinking, you think?
No, good. So, our central bank has been seen to, keep the growth engines firing. Our situation in this country is very, very different from that of the West. So yes, with an eye on forex reserves, we do increase interest rates, but till date we have done it a tad lower than what has happened in the West. Till date, it has been like 25 bips lower than what has happened in the West. So now, if one expects Fed to not do a 75 bip increase and maybe do a 50 bip increase this time around, so jury here is between 25 and 35 bips.
What does it mean for markets? So far, the Indian markets have been driven by domestic investors. Do you see foreign investors, foreign funds making their way to India, you think?
No, so this is a market which is now seeing a structural inflow of domestic liquidity. And I think that is the part which is more structural, more predictive. The influx of foreign investors, in a scenario where the central banks are tightening, where Fed is taking away liquidity month after month, and your multipliers are not expanding, they're contracting, it's very difficult to make a case of a sustained FPI inflow into the country. Versus that, there are structural things happening. As an economy, we are growing. As a population, we are crossing that $2,000 per capita mark, which is, and a lot of employment happening in the blue collar, white collar, organized space. So money in the bank rather than money in the hands, and that is making people, save through newer means. So in India, people have just about 4.8% of their assets in equity, and hence it's a long, long way to go. So we are starting to see some bit of that coming in.
But I want to get this very quickly here, just to make your answers a bit briefer, if you would. What are the impediments? What are the challenges that foreign investors do actually come up against when they want to invest in the local market?
No, there are no impediments. It's just that they need to have flows into their fund, and then they can happily come into this country. It's just that, happily for us, what I understand is now globally people are launching, emerging market funds ex of China, where India is 40-50% of total. So that's a small move as yet, but getting bigger hopefully, and that's a new route which has emerged for sure. Of the emerging market funds also, since people are not as positive other spaces, we are the growth leaders as of now amongst the larger diversified economies. So we are getting more than our weightage. Our weightage in the MSCI has moved up, so that helps as well.
Okay, Prateek, we've got something like $400 million. We've got large IPOs of more than $400 million staying away from the markets there at the moment. What's going to take for them to get listed, I suppose, should they want to? Because a few of these companies which listed earlier this year have really been burnt. Was that a case of greed more than anything else? Or is it actually now the idea that they should have a more realistic view of what they can raise should they IPO?
Yeah, so there was a part, middle of last year when, the valuation, especially on the tech side, became a bit, high, not sustainable. That has corrected, and now I think more sustainable levels for most of those companies. So IPOs are possible, IPOs are happening. It's just that valuation expectations need to be more realistic. I tend to look at the market both as IPOs plus, the fundraisers under QIP or a private equity stake sale. And sum total of all of that is still pretty buoyant. So in this quarter, if IPOs are lesser, the private equity stake sales have been pretty strong, and that is to be noted.